It has been about 1 week since the 2022 Oscars, and I just want to answer the question, was it worth it? Was it worth it? All the drama and commotion that came before this ceremony even started, how it all played out, and where we are now. Are we better off now that the 2022 Oscars exist? That's a tough question, because here's the truth. We can't talk about it at all without talking about the thing. And I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to use that as a thumbnail, because that's all people want to know about when it comes to the Oscars now. And I'm torn. At the moment, I was like, this is dramatic, this is going to be fun to talk about. The next morning, I woke up, and it was overkill. The memes weren't funny anymore, the tone and the discussion was getting much more serious and not as enjoyable. And if I'm being completely honest, I think the biggest bummer for me is that now the Oscars are just known for that. I just want to watch movies, I want to celebrate them, I want the biggest drama to revolve around Coda winning. But instead, the whole night was tainted by this moment. And yes, I guess it got people to tune into the Oscars, which is good for production standpoint, because that's what they wanted, right? Like, they orchestrated this whole night. They made all these changes, invited all these presenters that, like, none of them made sense, all to gain viewership, which they were at an all-time low before this year. So I guess they got it. They got their viewers up. They got people talking about the Oscars. But at what cost? So let's pretend that moment didn't happen. If that didn't happen, I still think I would have a lot of thoughts and things to say. First off, the time and length of the ceremony was so long, and it's especially interesting because they promised it wouldn't be. In fact, they cut so many categories from being presented live for that reason, to give more time, and it didn't work. So next year, what's their excuse going to be? They're not going to give away any awards? Or perhaps the awards were never the issue to begin with. Perhaps the issue is all these other things that we're adding in. And with cutting categories, that was a big, I don't know, point of discussion between online filmgoers, and people weren't really happy. I think the biggest winners of the night would be Coda and Dune. Coda taking away the big prize, and again, if that moment that we all know didn't actually happen, I think the big discussion would be, did Coda deserve to win? But no one's even talking about it at this point. Nobody's even talking about how significant it is that a deaf actor won the best supporting actor. Dune being the other winner, it just cleaned up and won the most awards of the night, which we kind of expect. The next part of Dune, part 2, and even if they do more beyond that, it's gonna just clean up every single award. There's no way it doesn't win any less than 6 awards next time around. At least that's the expectation that I have, and I'm sure a lot of other people have, so maybe that's not great going in with that mindset. In my opinion, though, the most bizarre moment was the Twitter voting, the fan favorite moments, because the first one was the most crowd-pleasing moment, and apparently this was just all of film history. And the number one crowd reaction applause moment, however you want to word it, was the Flash from Zack Snyder's The Justice League. Nobody cheered during that movie. Nobody. Except for Zack Snyder's little cult, who apparently has the most power in the world. I was already impressed enough that they got the Snyder Cut to exist, but now they're just taking over the Oscars? Because that's right, guess what? The number one crowd-pleasing movie of 2021 was Army of the Dead. Absolutely insane. Zack Snyder is the third winner of the night behind Coda and Dune. Some other interesting things that they tried to switch up is they tried to celebrate a lot of films, but mainly just pick like random years. Like Pulp Fiction, 28 years, we're gonna celebrate. Why? The Godfather someone made sense because it was 50 years, and I think James Bond was like 60 years, so that's great, whatever. But like White Man Can't Jump, 30 years? Okay, that's interesting. Like, I don't think you need an excuse to bring the cast of Pulp Fiction on stage. So it just felt really odd that they decided to just pick random movies from random years and say, this is a milestone. Speaking of the James Bond tribute, it was weird because you had Kelly Slater, Tony Hawk, and Shaun White all up there presenting. I don't know, it didn't make any sense at all. And then it just led to just a montage of James Bond clips, which didn't really fit, when they really should have just had Billie Eilish perform the song that won the Oscar. But with those presenters and so many other people like DJ Khaled just coming on stage at the very beginning for absolutely no reason at all, what this whole night felt like is that they're going in the direction of like the MTV Movie Awards or other shows like that. It's goofy, it's funny, it's full of all sorts of celebrities, and if that's the direction they're going, I'm a little disappointed. The Oscars are meant to be this prestigious award show, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't think it's meant for everyone. It's like we have the People's Choice, we have the critics, this is the Academy Awards where they just pick the movies, and we don't even really get a chance to celebrate those movies. The fact that the presenters oftentimes get more airtime than the ones who are winning the awards, that's a bummer to me. And I get it, not everyone has seen all these movies, so it's more fun to talk about James Bond and Pulp Fiction than it is The Power of the Dog and Coda. But maybe it's okay that not everyone has seen these movies. Maybe it's okay if this isn't the largest televised event ever. Maybe it's okay that there's just like a small niche audience of people who love to celebrate films that watch this and are dedicated to it. Because the more that they try to play this middle ground of trying to celebrate film but also make this mass appeal commercial thing for just general audiences, the more it's going to feel awkward in future years, and I'm not too excited to see how it goes. So yeah, was the Oscars worth it? I don't know. I think we're in a better place than we were last year, but obviously because 2020 is over and now movie theaters are somewhat open again. But for the most part, I don't know if the Academy has learned their lesson. I don't. seeing the response to this whole night, seeing the way they executed it, it doesn't leave me with a lot of hope for the future. But hey, prove me wrong. Let's make the 2023 Oscars the best one yet. So what do you think of the 2022 Oscars? Did you enjoy it? What did you think of every single chaotic moment that happened? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you next time.